On this episode of Dream the Red, at least it wasn't a shutout, right? Do we really have to cover this one? Do we have to talk about it? Can't we just omit it from our lives and pretend it never happened? No? Well, okay. Honestly, with a team like the Caps, that when you have a team that's playing so well and has such a great record so far into the season, there are going to be nights that just don't go your way. And a lot of people have already said this about tonight. It just was one of those nights where things don't go our way. And honestly, if your team does not have these kind of nights, then your team is a bunch of robots. And our team is a genuine family. So this stuff happens, unfortunately. And you live with it. Life goes on, and we're going to come back from it. So let's get started. Alright, so we finally saw Lada back in the lineup tonight. Makes me happy. You guys know I love him very much. He's back in. I don't think his injury was that serious. I think it just happened, and he had to sit out for a little while, rested up, and they wanted to give Galiev probably a little more ice time. So, he's back in the lineup tonight. However, in the fourth line, someone else did get pulled out. Was a healthy scratch, and Mike Richards got his Capitals debut, his NHL comeback. As for Richards' play, obviously nothing spectacular, and it was a really kind of unfortunate night for him to get his debut. Just wasn't a spectacular night, but he did okay. The same thing, I said this for Sill. He wasn't notable, but he didn't hold us back, which is, it's a good thing, you know? You want to see something incredible from them, but it's always good when they don't pull you back. So Richards played center, and Lada was moved to the wing, and fourth line did its thing. Like I said, nothing incredible, but didn't hold us back. Moving into the first period, there was strong work in the neutral zone. We didn't just let them take the puck and go with it. We did fight for it, and we fought for possession for a while. We didn't really give up in the defense zone for a little while at the beginning. It wasn't just, okay, we're going to sit back and let them do their thing. We were okay. Buffalo scored first with number 84. But overall, at the beginning of the first period, we had beautiful stick handling, which was really nice to see. It was really just nice possession going on, and I like to see it. A lot of mini tussles tonight. We're going to talk later about the fights, but there were a few mini tussles and just roughing up a bit. That was interesting to see. First penalty went to Buffalo for an elbowing. Of course, we did get a little sloppy in the offensive zone, which, kind of explains our gameplay. We just didn't execute like we should have. We didn't give up, though. We kept taking the opportunities that we had. If you missed one, someone else tried to take it. Wasn't successful, but it was something. Buffalo again gets a penalty on number 15 for tripping. And then number 59 got a goal for Buffalo. We needed work on puck control. We were losing possession so easily, and it just wasn't sticking together for us, and we just gave it up. That's when it happened. Then Chorney got a penalty for holding. We saw a lot of Chorney tonight. We'll obviously talk about that. I think, honestly, what this stemmed from, and I think the whole part of maybe why we lost this, is that we got too comfortable with Buffalo. We've played Buffalo twice this season. We won both times. Maybe that was it. Maybe we just thought it's Buffalo, it's not a big deal, and we kind of let our guard down and they took advantage of it. But that's just my theory as to what this is. But that's basically the first period for you, and that's just about it. Moving on to the second period, you can tell that Barry Trotz tried to get some things through the Caps' heads. We had a bit more of an improved defensive work. We're more staying on top of the Sabres instead of just letting them do their things. We actually interfered with them a bit. Sill gets a penalty for holding. Typically we see beautiful work from Holtby, and we saw that tonight until after number 9 for Buffalo scores and Holtby was taken out. Grooms got put in. Now, in games past, we've seen this to be a wake-up call for the Caps. The Caps do not like to see Holtby get pulled out. It's typically what gets them angry, and when Caps are angry, they win. Unfortunately for this, it just didn't seem to work. Last time this happened against the Bolts, We pulled Holtby out, and Ovechkin was not happy about it, and he stepped up and he kind of hyped up the team and he got us moving and we had our comeback. No one really played that part tonight, and, you know, that might serve for why exactly a comeback just didn't happen. I guess it just didn't really work. Tonight just was not our night. Number 84 for Buffalo takes a tripping penalty, and we started to not mess around as much. We were taking more opportunities on goal. We weren't letting Buffalo step in as much as we would have. We tried. I can't say that we didn't really care about the game. We did try. It just didn't have a motivation behind it, and, you know, we're really hoping that there's motivation tomorrow against the Rangers. As Craig Laughlin called it, and I think I agree with this, he said we were trying to be cutesy, and I think it really is accurate for the game. A lot of goal opportunities were kind of thrown away with an attempt to be cutesy, and maybe that's just why they didn't happen like they should have, but that's what Locker said, and that's what I agreed with. Oshie gets a slashing penalty, and number 46 for Buffalo scores. Then Chorney gets another penalty for slashing, and after the whistle blew for the second period, Wilson got into a little mini fight. I wouldn't call it that insane. You know, the next Wilson fight we're going to see is a bit more. Starting off the third period, we had a little bit of hope. Obviously, it didn't go anywhere, but we saw it. Marcus Johansson got a goal. It was something. It got us a goal. It wasn't a shutout, like I said. Number 3 for Buffalo gets an interference call, and then we get a Wilson fight. And, you know, it's been a while, I think, since I've really been able to say that I saw Wilson drop the gloves, but tonight he did that, and he dropped him. It was an okay fight. Wilson had some good punches in there, but eventually he got thrown to the ice, and his opponent, man, he was hyping it up like it was something special, but it really wasn't. I honestly thought he was kind of just being cocky about it, and even Wilson's face afterwards was like, okay, sure. That was that, and then Ness gets a holding penalty, and honestly, that's all she wrote. Just wasn't a spectacular game. It fell flat, and it just... something was off. I don't know what it was. Something was off, and that's just how it was. And unfortunately, that was the game. And the thing with games like these is you have to suck it up, learn what went wrong, take it into mind, and move on, because we have a game tomorrow. It's against the Rangers. We can't afford to let the same thing happen. That's the deal. It's hockey. They're human. It's a sport. It's live. It's just... it's not a perfected kind of thing. You're never going to be perfect. You're never going to have an undefeated team. Every team has nights like these, and you kind of just have to accept it and move on. And that's what we have to do, you know. I don't know if it's because we got too comfortable. I don't know what it was, whether there was something going on in the team, something happened, but tonight just wasn't our night, and we gotta suck it up, learn from it, and move on. It feels so weird to have a video so short, but really there's not much to say about this game, except that it wasn't our night. Buffalo took advantage, and they stepped forward, and they won. And that's that. So hopefully the game that we see tomorrow will be much better than this. Hopefully I will be a lot happier in tomorrow's video, and we can just embrace it. So yeah, Rangers tomorrow at the Verizon Center, 5 p.m. Let's do this, and let's get better and learn from what we did. Every team has these nights. That's all you can really say. I'm saying this 1,000 times, but that's about it. So good night, everybody, and dream the rest.